Welcome back, everybody, to the Visit Pikeville Now podcast, brought to you by the City of Pikeville. I'm your host, Jeff Vanderbeck, and once again, I am joined by my esteemed colleague, the lovely and talented and the ever hardworking Jill Dotson, who is here with us today. Jill, welcome back. It's been a while.
It has been. We've
What
been
have you
busy.
been up to?
A little bit of everything seems like. We have been really busy in the tourism and the Main Street office and all across the city. Recently, we attended our annual KTIA conference.
All right, what does KTIA stand for?
KTIA is the Kentucky Travel Industry Association. So it's all the tourism departments and people who are involved in economic development, tourism, bringing placemaking, downtowns, all of the fun things that we have in the state. We come together for 3 days. This year it was in Louisville.
How many different towns, cities, Main Street, or whatever showed up?
Oh my goodness. It's usually, I would say every tourism CVB in the state is represented in some way there. And then you have some Main Street directors, Louisville Downtown Partnership. You have all of these. I would have to go back and look, but we have a lot.
How do we compare to the rest of the group? I mean, when it comes to, what we do, how we're doing it, and are people envious of what's happening here in Pikeville? Or do they just not care? I mean, you can go to some of these small towns and nobody cares what's going on.
For the most part, so many people are so complimentary of what we do here and what we've done over the years. But we, too, are very complimentary of other cities across the state that, it's hard to get everywhere to see what they do. So it's a great time to get together and bounce ideas off of one another, and then see other communities, your larger communities that are wanting to do the things that we have done here for years, and they kind of pick your brain and want to see the processes that you have. One larger, much larger city was asking me about our string lights that we have downtown across 2nd Street.
Right.
On Caroline. They want to do it in one of their communities, and they haven't been able to figure it out yet. And I thought, wow, with the kind of budget that the larger communities have, you would think that it would already have happened. But I think we stack up pretty well. There's always things that we see that we would like to do or borrow or look at and put our spin on it.
Speaking of that, the larger cities, my daughter lives in Lexington.
Mhm.
And she called me the other day and she goes, if I want to write a letter to the city, who do I send it to? I says, which city? She goes, Lexington. I says, well, tell me what's going on before you start going crazy. She goes, Daddy, here's the thing. I've been living in Lexington for 8 years now, and the Christmas decorations are horrible. There's nothing flashy about it. There's nothing. So she wrote a letter to the city manager, and she referenced how beautiful Pikeville is. I'm going to share that with you after.
Yeah, she's a good girl.
Yeah, so she said that, and I'm like, oh, geez, they're either going to call you and say, okay, come and help us because we want to pick off your brain from what Pikeville's doing, or they're going to say, we found out where you live and your taxes are going up. But the point is that our little city does a really good job with that, and for the larger communities to emulate that is a feather in everybody's cap here. And it goes into not only do the employees, but those commissioners, the mayor, the community all buys into this thing, and it's a community effort.
Yeah, so this is a really busy season for us. Just this week, and even as we are sitting here recording today, we have the Christmas decorations have gone up. I cannot tell you how fortunate and blessed we are to have our UMG staff, our fire department, our police department, our Main Street board, our tourism office. Everyone really pitches in to transform our small town into
Winter Wonderland.
A winter wonderland it is. I was with the guys this week. Bob Amos Park is finished. All the Christmas decorations are up there, and I happened to be there as UMG and the fire department were working together to raise the Merry Christmas Pikeville sign. And it kind of touches your heart a little bit to see, number one, to see everybody working together, which is what we do. But how things transform and what pride we have,
Sure.
and getting that experience for people, and it's all finished. And then next week, on Monday, everything is planned out. All of the little Christmas trees that go in the red boxes downtown, those have been picked up and are waiting to be transported to Main Street with the lights and bows. The garland will go up. Winterfest will go um, into the processes of putting the skating rink together next week and decorating the park. So there's so many different moving parts, and everything is orchestrated down to the T. So we can make sure that everything is as it should be, and welcome our guests in, and is there for not only our community to enjoy and our community members, but people all over Eastern Kentucky
Well,
that come through.
I think it's a great thing. I was going to mention today that, when I went to the post office and, the guys are out working and the girls are out working, putting stuff up and having a great time, and they look happy doing it. And it's like, that's how you're supposed to be. If you're putting up Christmas or decorations and getting ready for the season, you should be happy. And those guys are happy and there's not mad at anything. Like after Hillbilly Days, you could see they're grumpy because they're cleaning up the vomit on the floor and all that other stuff. But now they look happy about bringing joy to the city. So
Well, I
that's a
think
good
that's
thing.
what it is. I think they really, we all, we have a lot of things going on. We always do. There's never a dull moment. And I say to, my coworkers all the time, we get to do, we don't have to do, but we get to do some pretty incredible things,
Right.
and get to have a lot of fun with our jobs. And to be able to bring experiences to our community and to the kids, but for our visitors that come in for a play or a concert or, the meetings and the conferences and conventions that we have here that maybe we know about in our office that our general public doesn't know about. We have so many visitors that come in from everywhere, and they're so complimentary. So it really is just all the credit goes to the people who that are happy when they go out and they put things up and they decorate and they see how beautiful it is, and they really do enjoy it, and they find solutions to things because it doesn't always go perfectly, and we have to step back and
Sure.
reevaluate every now and then, but it really is a fun time for us.
Well, I think one of the interesting thing is that also usually downtown is there, and that's where a lot of the attractions are. But you mentioned Bob Amos, and the Bob Amos Park is really cool because what happens is you can go downtown, then you get in your car, you drive to Bob Amos, and tell us about all the decorations from the bottom of the hill all the way to I mean, there's a lot going on up there.
There is. There's a lot going on, and we are constantly looking every year for places to put some new decorations or something that we might be able to enhance that experience, because we're not just about putting up lights and letting them be there. Everything has to coordinate and everything has to be to look a certain way. We don't want it to be a hodgepodge, if you will, of random things. So a few years ago, we really sat down with a planner who plans park displays or downtown displays or community city displays, municipalities, and we chose very carefully a lot of the decorations that are at Bob Amos. So obviously, you have Santa waving as you go up the hill. And then you have the dogs that are at the dog park, and then you have the little trees and the elves, and then I love the camping scene that we have by the RV park. We have a little camper there, and then you have the large snowman and then the lights. But the showpiece of Bob Amos
Sure.
Park is always that Merry Christmas Pikeville sign that we had made,
Right.
and it when it gets put into place and lights up, it just, it signifies that the season is here.
Right. Exactly.
And it's so much fun to see. But we're constantly looking for different additions to Bob Amos, but we want to make sure that it's still very classy and it's very fun and um, pleasant for everybody.
Well, the thing about it is, and, I don't mean to mention another town, but, you can have a great experience here, and 20 minutes up the road, you can go to see the lights at Archer Park,
Mhm.
and then, come back down here. And we had an editorial staff meeting today, and I got lunch for everybody, and I got some desserts from Allie on Main. Allie's cakes are
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So they're
Aren't they
so
good?
good. So,
Yeah.
I don't mean to give a shout out, but I'm going to give a shout out to her because she's got this little shop and it's great stuff. And that just goes back to the little things that are happening downtown. So, you know, we want people to come in, park in the parking garage, walk around, go to the park, experience that stuff, And when the winter wonderland is in full swing, you go in there and you could go and see all the stuff that's happening. You could shop in the shops, you can get a bite to eat, you can have a cup of coffee, you can enjoy whatever you want and just visit. And then when you're done, you go up to Bob Amos and bring your family because it's very family oriented, and those are great things.
The great thing about Bob Amos too is that it's also walkable. We see so many people
Wilson,
that
you
walk
may
the
be
hill.
able, well,
The hill.
we know that those people, but they have a screw loose. But if you're walking up that hill, there's something inherently wrong with you. I get it. I used to be healthy at one time, but to walk from the bottom to the top of the hill, just that's why God invented cars.
Well, maybe.
That's for me.
Maybe.
I'm just
No,
an old legend.
It's just a lot of fun. And I'm glad you mentioned the downtown and thank you. Alley Cakes is excellent. So Alice has been doing her thing for a lot of years and we're thrilled to have her downtown. Um, One of the things about what we do is that we all know that downtowns are the heart of every community. There's something very special about busy, walkable downtowns, and we are very fortunate to be able to have that. We have a lot of people along 2nd Street, along Division Street, Caroline, everybody around. There's always something on each street for someone. And going into the holiday season, that is something that we're very cognizant of, and we want to make sure that continues. So,
Sure.
like as we get into into November, Saturday after Thanksgiving is when everything starts. We have Black Friday, obviously, which is really lucrative for our businesses.
Right.
But Shop Small Saturday is where we focus our attention in November. So on the 29th, a lot of things happen. Shop Small Saturday. The hub of that is the shops at 225 on 2nd Street. You stop by there, scan a QR code, enter to win downtown dollars. Those dollars will be spent back at businesses within the Main Street district. You will also be able to get information on everything going downtown. You win prizes for the most spent, all of these
Sure.
things, photo opportunities. And then, that evening, we transition into the official Christmas tree lighting in the park.
That's the night of the 29th.
The 29th.
And then that's when the mayor comes out and everybody comes out and they light the tree up there where the fountain used to be. And that's a cool thing. And I know whether it's raining, snowing, sunny, 18 below, everybody's out there. They're singing carols. They light the tree. Everybody has a good old time. And that's a lot of fun.
This year, we really want people to come out and enjoy that. I think sometimes we forget, a lot of us forget the reason for the season. We forget to spend time with our families and we forget to do the things that are going to create memories. And really, that's what we want to do. Tree lightings are a wonderful memory for families to have. Winterfest, obviously, the ice skating rink will be open. We're going to do free hot chocolate in the park from the Main Street program. We're going to have caroling.
Horse and buggy rides?
There will be horse and buggy rides.
That's the coolest thing.
Yeah. So you're going to be able to experience a lot of stuff to really get you in the season, get you the spirit for the season, I should say. So that's on Saturday. And then, the next week we plan to go into the first full weekend of December. So many things going on that 5th and 6th of December weekend in downtown. So it's just a wonderful time to be able to have, all that we have along US 23 and the shopping and the stores there. But there's something very special about being in a downtown community, shopping your local businesses, your small family-owned retailers. And I always say this, there is nothing that you need to give anyone for Christmas that you really can't find in the city of Pikeville.
Well,
if you look hard enough.
I want, just in case you were wondering, what you can give me this year is a nice big bar of gold. And if you could find somebody to get that for you, that'd be fine.
Well, I mean, I can create a bar of gold if you want. I don't know if it will have any value.
Gold in it, yeah.
It'll be a great gift.
Well, it'd probably be soap or something. You get at Buffy or something. But so you mentioned, during this on Saturday after Thanksgiving. What we have is we have some folks who go out of town, and then we have some folks who bring their families in. And you mentioned about having families and spending time. What a great opportunity if you've got family members coming in from out of town to come downtown, do the shopping on Saturday, walk around the district, have through the tree lighting ceremony, have a cup of hot chocolate and whatever else you put in there. And what a great thing for your family members to be involved with, because it's, it's the pride of your hometown.
Absolutely.
And that would be a good thing. Now, the road of 460 opened up not too long ago.
Yes.
And I've been talking to some folks already, and they're telling me, I can't believe how much easier it is to get to Pikeville now. And that's where I was sitting at a restaurant at Drake's not too long ago, and the guy says, "Yeah," he goes, "I'm so glad it's in there. It took me 20 minutes to get here from where I was in Virginia." I'm like, "Well, you probably weren't a little past the speed limit, but that's a different story." But the point is that just opened up a whole new corridor of fresh new traffic. So
it really did.
have you noticed any of the increase of traffic at the Pikeville Commons?
We have so much traffic at the Pikeville Commons even now that it's incredible to me. Like, it's a place that if you go through and drive through there on a Saturday, especially now, Friday night, Saturday, all day long, and count the license plates that we have that are not from Pike County or from Kentucky even, it's incredible. So that's one of my favorite things to do.
You're a boring person, Jill.
Well, but it's what I do, though. It's how I
understand that, but you got to take a breather.
I know. But I'm sure there have been a lot of people that have used 460 to come in. It's only been open for a week and a half or so,
Right.
2 weeks. But what that road being opened is going to do long term,
It's a game changer.
it is a game changer. There is no better way to put it than it is definitely a game changer. I was able to drive on it a couple days before it was officially opened and look at it. And I've seen the whole process, and I knew what was happening, and I knew that it was going to make a difference, but I did not realize how quickly we could be to certain places. I had to go to where did I go? Tazewell thing. And I, normally that drive would have been excruciating and long, and I was there in no time. But what I love about 460 being open now is that from downtown, you can be to the breaks in 30 minutes,
right,
or less, depending. You can be into Virginia, but the best part is that they can be here. The same way.
Straight shot to the industrial park too. So that's going to open that up for any manufacturer who comes in here and looks at that, which is also under the city's purview. So you got that industrial park. We just put that 100,000 square foot pad that we're ready to build on. And can you imagine, like, say somebody goes, "Oh, that's right off of 460. I'm right there. I can go right easy to this thing, and I go right into Virginia through I-81, go to New York City or down in Florida."
The biggest difference. And I think back to when Mayor Hambley had his vision for the cut through, and the cut through had so many different reasons to eliminate the flooding of downtown, which we know it was finally tested earlier this year and it worked. But then, his vision was to open us up for economic growth and development, to make 23 a main thoroughfare from Ashland into Virginia, into North Carolina, and what it does for us now with 23 being that path, and then 460, and then the Mountain Parkway that is almost nearing completion, and how it is going to, that last phase has now started, and how it intersects. It's just incredible. And the growth that we're going to be able to see and will see when my kids are grown is just going to be, it's going to be tremendous. And it's why we do what we do.
And all that road work, if that keeps up, we might even see us a Buc-ee's here soon.
You never know. You never know.
I know. Well,
that gives me anxiety. That gives me anxiety. I pull in the parking lot and I'm like,
great place. Well,
it is.
If you ever go to the Buc-ee's down in Knoxville, right outside of Knoxville, they've got a roundabout. You never see an accident in the roundabout. You put a roundabout in Pikeville, I guarantee you're going to see more accidents than which.
Well,
so the other thing is I was going to say is that at the Commons, I was there the other day. My wife was doing something really cool and she sent me to Hobby Lobby, and I'm like, yeah, no problem. Well, I was having some hip problems like I always do because I'm old and degenerative, but I had to park all the way in the back because there were no spots, and I felt like I had to go to Texas Roadhouse in order to get to Hobby Lobby. And Under my
And
breath, I cursed Donovan Blackburn
yeah,
and Frankie Justice because he was the mayor and Donovan
yeah,
Blackburn was the city manager, and they had that vision to make it happen, and they did. And look what they did to me. And just because of them, I got to walk from the back of the parking lot to the front.
because you have to walk.
But I complain a lot, but those are great complaints.
Those are
So
those are great complaints. When I have to park at the end of the parking lot at Walmart to walk all the way to get a gallon of milk and walk back out,
it's
you
an
know,
inconvenience.
it is, but that means that people are shopping,
And
they're supporting,
well,
you know, our community, and they're getting a few steps in.
so the other day, I was driving through Abington, Virginia, and I had to stop at the Food City down there. And in that Food City in Abington, and I'm going to ask you for help. There is a bar inside the Food City. It sells wine and beer. It's got a giant TV. It's huge. So I would like for you to call Steve Smith directly and say, listen, you're getting, you want to have a bar. And I think that's a brilliant idea because people go shopping with their spouses and, you know,
They need to sit for a minute, decompress,
yeah. And,
relax.
you know, who knows what's going to happen? You know, I take my wife to there. We have a glass of wine. We go get some fish. We come back. We have another glass of wine. We go get some other stuff. Next thing you know, that the gallon of milk and the bottle of diet ginger ale that we like to get
Yeah,
now turns into $200 worth of stuff because we just decided that we were hungry.
kind of brilliant. Yes.
So yeah, so I
We'll
wish
see what we can do about that.
yeah, please call.
I've been to that Food City. It's beautiful.
I love it there. I
It is
hope
very
you get it.
nice.
So we got Shop Small Saturday. I know you've got a lot of things that we're going to talk about on our next podcast for things coming up for the holiday season. The ice skating thing is coming up. You got the horse and buggy rides. You got all kind of neat things going on. So we'll reconvene here in a couple of weeks to talk about the next phase of what's happening in downtown Pikeville.
Mark your calendars, though, December 5th and 6th. Be in town.
What's that for?
December 5th and 6th.
You're not going to tell me,
Big
right?
weekend.
Okay.
Big weekend.
All right. Now, the other thing that I wanted to mention is that the arena has been hopping lately. There's been so much stuff
Yeah,
there.
they're doing
Show
a
after
great
show
job.
after show after show. It's amazing, and they're doing all kind of neat things. And
It's sellout after sellout.
I
which is
know.
what's incredible. It's wonderful.
I know it's
Yeah.
fantastic. So you know, we're really seeing a lot of good things happening. So I'm really happy that things are going well for the city of Pikeville. I'm really happy that we're on track for our visitors and all that stuff.
And
So
we're already planning for next year. So we start now.
what do you mean next year?
Next
You
year?
haven't even gone through this year.
We have a list of things that as we prepare and we put everything out this year, we see things that we want for next year. So we already have an ongoing list of projects and things.
No, what you
yeah.
need to do is you need to go to the city commission and say, listen, I want it this year, and just go get it done.
Yeah, well,
Say, Jeff Vanderbeck said that you need
I will tell them
that-
that
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
and
exactly
if
what
you
I-
get arrested, I'll put you on the front page of the blotter.
No doubt.
But-
No doubt.
Once again, I want to thank you all for visiting and taking a few minutes out of your day to listen to our podcast about the visiting Pikeville Now. Really important that you come downtown, support us, support what's going on, support your local merchants. Jill, thanks again for your time. Really, it's nice seeing you again. I know that it's been a while since we had this time together. We're going to be back in about a week or so. We'll talk more things, and you're going to let me know what's happening December 5th and 6th.
I will. Put your walking shoes on.
Listen, I told you I'm
And you-
complaining that I got to
You'll
walk.
be fine. You will be fine.
I'm telling you, I'm complaining. I got to walk from the Texas Roadhouse to the thing there. Now I got to walk more.
You have to.
My
Good
God.
for your heart.
You're raising my blood pressure right now, but that's good for my heart too. So thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Good luck on everything you're doing. Good job. I can't wait to see Bob Amos. And if you notice, my dog's running around here, my mascot. She loves to ride in the car with my wife and myself, and if my kids are with us, and she sits in the front, and she loves to go up there, and she'll look at Bob Amos and see all of the waving stuff. And so my wife and myself and my dog are gonna have to do that real soon.
Absolutely. It will all line up the day after Thanksgiving.
There you go. Well, December 5th and 6th I'm looking forward to what you're going to tell me. I don't know what it is. It could be that you're bringing the cops in here to arrest me, but that's another story.
You never know.
I've done nothing. I am not a crook.
No, you're not. You're not.
Good to see you, Jill. Thank you so much.